Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Jimmy's Neighborhood Bees. Today is going to be kind of a quick one. I'm going to use this Eco Wood treatment here to treat these two boxes. I got my modified Ceracell top feeder for my nuke, and I got a deep nuke box. Now, here, this is just a regular old tote. It's a 17-gallon tote. They were actually on sale at Lowe's. So I picked up one 17-gallon, and I picked up like three of the 27-gallon tanks. But what I'm using is Eco Wood. Yeah, and this makes 5 gallons. This makes 5 gallons. It makes 5 imperial gallons, which is actually 6 U.S. standard gallons. But so I got a bucket of water there. I use like warm water, lukewarm water. But all you do is really you mix it up, and oh, I have a knife. I had a knife, and it's basically like a mineral powder that it's a mineral powder. I'm going to pour it out so you can see it. I'm going to mix all 5 gallons. I got my 5-gallon bucket, and then I will actually I'm going to mix it in the bucket. Okay, basically it's a 5-gallon bucket of water here, and when I pour it out, you'll see it's a powder. So I'm pouring it out in powdered form. Just for ease of operation, I got a paint mixer. On the end of my grill. It doesn't really, excuse me, it doesn't really dissolve. It just kind of gets suspended in the water. And so I just stir it up for about 3 or 4 minutes, two minutes at the most, and let it. So it's going to be a little loud. Now, when I make sugar syrup, I do the same thing. I pour my sugar in the water, and I use that stirrer. That's the only thing it's used for. Anyway, let me pour this in my. And so you see, it's just a deep nuke box. Can't remember where I got this from, but all you do is just soak it in, let it soak. Sometimes I will put a cinder block on top to let it sit down in there for, I don't know, 1 minute, maybe 1.5 minutes. And matter of fact, let me go get one. I didn't see a cinder block, but I'll just use this paver. Does the same purpose. So basically, I'm going to hold this underwater for another minute or so, and it doesn't prevent the wood from warping, but what it does prevent is the wood from rotting. So this wood won't rot. It still may warp over time, but it's not going to rot. And what I'll do, this is my modified Ceracell. If you look at the other video, I showed how I modified it to help the bees out. So I'll just take these covers off, and I box this in so that the bees can either come up both sides. Someone made a suggestion that I can put a little bit of regular screen, just wrap this and staple some screen on here to help the bees get some traction. But we'll see how much they propolize it, and if I have to scratch this up, or I think I do have some screen material that I can repurpose. But we'll do this second. But I'm gonna let this go and for another minute, and then I'll flip it over and do the other side, and then I'll do the ends. Okay, I after the first go round, I flipped it over, put it in for the second go round on the second side. I'm gonna put my brick here and let it sit for a little while, and get the second side. It's not done yet, but we'll let it soak for another minute or two, and I'll get back to you and do the ends. Okay, so now the second side is pretty much done. I'm going to do the ends because it didn't quite reach in the center. So I'm going to do this end here, but I'm going to also start and do the end on this box. And I'll just set that there. Now this was the other size box, the 27-gallon box that they had on sale at Lowe's and also BJ's Wholesale Club. They were like 13 bucks a piece, and with the Lowe's I get a 10% discount. So I went ahead and bought like 4 of these to try to get both of my storerooms organized. But anyway, so I'm gonna let this run like 5 minutes each side. I'll do the ends for 5 minutes, and then I'll submerge this whole box, and I should be able to submerge that and do it all at one shot, actually. But anyway, while I'm waiting, I'm going to fill up all my bird feeders, and I'm going to check the fondant in the beehives. Okay, while I'm waiting for the Eco Wood, I'm going to go ahead and check the fondant, the Hive Alive Fondant on these. Again, I do everything from the back of the hives. So really the bees don't even care that I'm back here, especially right now. Okay, there's bees in there. And okay, there's bees in there. Let me let you guys look. The red hive, which was last checked on January 13th, 2023. You can see the bees here. So they've increased about a ½ inch of the diameter. If you really look, they've increased eating, but still no need to replace that fondant. Again, I use dry erase, so I can erase, but I'll get a paper towel and erase that. On here, you can see fewer bees up at the top, but I would expect that as this hive had a lot more winter stores. So they really didn't have to come up here. But so far, being February 11th, both hives are still surviving winter. See if I can get you close. And it's about I don't know, 2 in the afternoon. I'm gonna verify all of these things before I write it, but I'm gonna go here to this side and show you. The visor on the yellow hive is a little bit lower. Man, I saw some nice orange pollen coming in. So, okay. But I'm gonna go back to finishing the eco wood. I'm gonna get my dry erase marker and mark the top of that. And I'll be back with you in a minute. Okay, I'm back at the hives. I did some verification. Today is Friday, February 10th, 2023, and the time is 2:35 p.m. And so I went and got a little shop towel, just lightly brushing off or getting rid of this. And I got so it's February 10th, 23. And I'll outline where they used there we go. So now I just outlined where they use the fondant up to, and I put the date. Do the same here. February 10th, 2023. And let's erase this. Erase the previous line. Doesn't have to be all the way. I kind of lift it up a little. I have another idea for that, but I'll do that maybe a little later or the next time to keep the bag from settling on the bees. I might just make a couple of shims to stick in and just to raise it up, just to keep keep a space. But as of right now, everything's good with these girls. So I'll mark that on my calendar that I checked it, and I'm gonna put the tops back on, but you don't need to see that. Okay, what I got is just a little piece of scrap wood. It's probably 3/4 inch by 3/4 inch, all the way square. I cut it off of something, I have no clue what. But what I'm gonna do is cut 8 equal pieces, probably about, I don't know, 3 inches. And I'm gonna use my Japanese saw here. And we'll use this side. Okay, just to show you what the idea is to put these sticks, I'll probably do them catty corner because the corners are longer. Just like that, but on the inside of the fondant. So I'm gonna have to push the fondant out the way with the stick. But then, so it'll be in between the 2 pieces of plastic, the top and bottom piece of plastic, and it will form basically a bridge to keep the top plastic separated from the bottom plastic. So I'm gonna take this off and take these extra ones out. I'm gonna take this off, shake the bees out of the fondant, put the sticks in, and put the fondant back on. So hang with me while I complete that task. Okay, I shook all the bees out of this fondant. and it's empty. So I got the hole on this side. So what I will do, don't need to wear these gloves actually. I will shove this all the way in the corner. And this one in this corner. This would have been much easier to do the first time around when the fondant just come from in the house and it was nice and supple. But it's not hard to do now. So what you have here is a bridge. Put this right back on the cat on the put this right back. Mine just knocked my. I'll rewrite the dates. And there we go. So now it's got a tent, like the bee can get up in there and it won't fall around and collapse around them. There we go. And I'll do the other one. You don't need to see it. But yeah, that's what I'll be doing from now on whenever I put a new pack of fondant. Okay. While you guys wasn't looking, I took the liberty of flipping this box over and flipping this box over. And here is a good example. This part's somewhat dry, but you can see the coloration is darker here, lighter here. This part hadn't been touched yet. So now this box here just needs to dry, and I'll find out if I need to do a second stint. What I'll do here is lay this one down, and great, it's completely submerged. And I'll just let it sit completely submerged in the Eco Wood treatment. I'll let this box dry a little bit, and if I need to apply a second, put it in a second time, that's not an issue. Yeah, so I'll let that go for 5 more minutes. Okay, here's something I wanted to show. I treated these same eco treatment. I just wanted to show the differences. Here, let me lift you up a little bit. Okay, it's just two different types of wood. This one was the Ceracell. You see the difference in color? This is what it looked like before the treatment. It was, because this is what I made my box out of. But you can see how light the wood is, very light. And now look how dark. I'm gonna put it up here for contrast. You see there, contrast? But the same goes for here. It's just a different type of wood, I guess. But the real telling part is side by side. You can see the different colors. I hope the colors are coming out where it's different. It's trying to get you in the sun. Maybe we'll do it like this. Same treatment, same time. Colors just come out a little bit different. And then the longer it sits outside and the longer it weathers, it'll get darker and darker and darker. But I just wanted to show that. And here's 2 more pieces too. Hopefully you guys are picking that up. The slight variations in color. Now, I hope the shadows aren't too much here. Let's see. There you go. That's just to show the difference in colors. But it's the same eco treatment. It's just it shows up different on different types of wood. Okay, everybody. You saw me do the dipping, so I'm gonna let that dry outside. I also checked the boards. So I updated my board. Today's February 10th, 2023. Outside it was 67 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 19.4 degrees Celsius. Figured I'd add that in for those who use that measurement. Hive 1, the bees are flying, they're alive. Bees are flying, Hive 2. Hive 1 used about 4-inch diameter worth of fondant, and Hive 2 used about 2 inches. And we all saw the little modification I made to keep the fondant bag separated. So that would help the bees out. They'll be able to maneuver around it, go on one side, go on the other. No big deal. The only thing I got to still build some more frames. I purchased down in, I was in North Carolina or, no, I'm sorry. I was out in Western Virginia somewhere, and I went to a bee supply store. So I bought some bottoms, grooved bottoms and grooved tops for Langstroth frames. I make my own sideboards, so I have here enough to build 20 more frames. So I will purchase, or I got some 2x6 scrap material that I will go ahead on and make some more sideboards. Another thing that I ordered online from Hive Life, the conference Hive Life, and I got this from Bohemia Bees, and it's a collaboration with Bohemia Bees and Castle Hives, I believe, but it's the Queen Right dial, right? Look at their packaging. They had a label here as well, but I carefully peeled off the label. But look at the packaging. They care about customer. You know, you make your customers smile. When I saw that on my porch, because that's where my the post left it. Oh, I got my Bohemia Bees sticker as well. I just dropped it. But I ordered that as well. Hopefully you can see it. It's going to go on my freezer, but I'll put it here. So it's Bohemia Apiary. But the Queen Right dials, it comes with screws as well. And it's just a status indicator so that you could just at a glance, you'll tell, oh, I'm Queen Right, this hive is good. Or I see, what is it? You see queen cells in there or whatever the status is. This is going to be, I'm going to put one of these on my daughter's hive in West Virginia because I'm not going to have access to that hive every day like I do with our hives in our backyard. I'm just a neighborhood beekeeper, Jimmy, Neighborhood Bees. So when I go visit her, if it's 3 weeks, if it's 2 weeks, or I can ask her, go out there and tell me what color is the dial. I'm going to leave one in here, and that'll be her remote. So if I know when I set her dial, I'll come here and I'll set the dial for the West Virginia hive. It's only going to be one hive. It's a long hive. And I'll put these on the 2 hives we have here. I thought these were neat. I got the 5-pack, and I'm not going to quote a price because I don't remember. So maybe I'll look it up, or no, you can look it up. You can go to Bohemia Bees. And when I ordered them, it was a pre-order because I ordered them as soon as I heard about it. I was like, okay, that's going to work for me. So it was a pre-order. When they got them produced, mine came in the mail. So it's a status indicator. I like it. Anyway, again, this was the Eco Wood treatment, the 5-gallon. There you go. I got it in my bucket. I got the label marked, my 5-gallon bucket with the label marked Eco Wood. And yeah, so that's done there. So now the only thing I need to do is continue working on my daughter's long hive and clean up my mess. And I can't wait for the weather to really break We're not sure right now as far as the next week or two. We still go down to the high 30s at night. So I'm not taking off the wraps just yet. I'll wait another week and then I'll look at the forecast the following week. And Monday we have our bee club meeting. I'm a member of the Rockwood Park Beekeepers Association in Central Virginia, Chesterfield County. And there's a guest speaker this weekend, but I get to talk to the local beekeepers, find out when they're putting out their swarm hives, which I do have one. I don't expect to catch a swarm, and I'm unsure if I would even want to keep it if I did catch it, because I want to be limited to the size of my apiary. I'm limiting myself, hopefully, but I will probably put out the one swarm hive, swarm catching hive, and see what happens. It's just something to do. Finish production on this long hive, and I have my deep nuke already ready already, and some frames for that, so that when I go pick up the package bees, I got 2 packages to pick up from Nature's Image Farms. When I pick those up, they're ready to go, ready to be housed. I also have a 10 frame ready to go, ready to be housed with enough frames for that. I don't see any dandelions out yet, but it's weird. We haven't had, we've got just a frosting of snow one time this year so far. I know there's people that had gone through snow blizzards and snow apocalypses and everything. My sister down in Fort Worth, Texas, had like inch of ice and snow and everything else or whatever. It was treacherous down there. So far, knock on wood, we got nothing. We had snow one morning. We woke up. It was on the deck and it looked like it was going to be a quarter of an inch. You know, you go take a shower, you come back downstairs, you eat breakfast, you go out and you get ready, and there's nothing to shovel, there's nothing to do. It's all melted, and it was hard. That's all we got this year. So I'm not going to complain, but knock on wood. But it's just been a funky winter for us. So once I start seeing dandelions, then I'll go ahead and take the wraps off of the hives, weather permitting, and start getting the hives, checking out the brood patterns and seeing the queens and whatnot, seeing if I can find them, and go from there. As far as my treatment in the spring, what I'm going to use for treatment, I got some oxalic acid. So I may do one treatment early spring, or I may do who knows what. But we'll see. We'll do a mic check. I have my new mic check kit, Varroa test bottle. So I will put that to good use. Another one of those items. Anyway, I'm starting to ramble as I do, but I want to thank everybody for tuning in as you do. Believe me, this is fun. I never thought I would. Like I said, this is my 3rd winter coming through with bees. Knock on wood so far. And I never thought I'd be a beekeeper, but I'm having fun with it, and I'm enjoying things. And people ask, well, why do you do the XL frames? Why not stick to the basic Langstroth frames and everything? Because I can, and it's something for me. I just thought about something. It's something I enjoy. I enjoy tinkering. I've always been a little extra. Okay, it doesn't fit. I've always been extra, so as long as I'm not going to hurt the bees, I'm going to try something different. And an extra deep frame, like a combination between Langstraw and Lands, to make them extra, you know, it doesn't hurt the bees. Yeah, and oh, let me show you what I do. I saw I saw Jim from Vino Farms, his hive, and how he leaves a space in between. He leaves a space in between his top medium and deeps. I use 2 deep foundations, but then I just cut one of them. Sometimes I cut it and leave bee space here, but I also always cut a hole for the bees to pass through in each of the corners, all 4 corners, and then I cut it here. And I do the same thing though. I mix and match. I'll put the medium size at the top, the deep size at the bottom, and then sometimes I put the deep size at the top and the medium size at the bottom. And yeah, so that's how I do that. I also bought a couple of I bought 1 box of 10 what do you call this, better comb, and I bought deep. So I got 10 deep better combs, but what I did was I ended up cutting one of them and just made it complete. Now the bees, I wired it and heat it with my battery and my homemade system, but the bees treat this like wax. If they want to put a hole in the middle, they will, but I still cut a hole here, 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 and in the corners. So the bees will do this any way they choose. And all I have to do is once they start putting it together, just make sure that it's kind of straight, and they'll attach it just like they did my old one. I have them marked at the top that it's better comb XL with an H wire. H is horizontal. That means my wires go horizontal. So that's how I mark my frames. Then when I start to use them, once I put this in the hive, I just use my queen marking pen and I color it, that color for this year, which is red this year. So if this is a 2023 frame, I'll just have one red stripe down at the end that I work. So the back of the hive will have one red stripe. And that tells me that this frame is a 2023 frame. And when I go to put it back in the hive, I won't flip it around. I'll just have it marked here. Everybody has their own way. Like for instance, this one, I was supposed to use it last year because it was yellow marked here, but I didn't. So I'll just cover that up. And if I use it this year, it'll be yellow. Because obviously this has not been used. This is heavy waxed acorn frame. Oh, acorn black. I put it on there in XL so that I can look in and see. Anyway, that's my system. That's the junk I do. I do it because it's not to be standardized or well, you're not going to be able to spin the honey or whatever. That's all brood stuff. That's not the honey part. The honey boxes are still deeps. So, and I have flow hybrid and flow 7-frame flow for that. And I also have the Ross round deeps. So that has nothing to do with honey collection. That's brood, pollen, bee bread, whatever they do, that's for them. I'm not taking that. I don't need that. And so in the winter, what I noticed was they filled all of this up with honey at the top, and their brood pattern was down here. And then as the summer goes along, they brood out this whole thing. And then the end frames will be honey, mostly honey. But anyway, and there are 10 boxes. So that's it for now. And oh, like Jim also said, I have some mediums that were already drawn out that I got. I will definitely use some of those to make some of my frames, so they'll be already ready already. They'll be drawn out. I'll just have to put them in here, any of my frames. Anyway, that's it. I'm rambling. I'm going to stop rambling. I'm going to go in the house. It's Friday. I got to watch The Way to Be with Fred Dunn. I got to watch The Bug Farmer because it's Friday. And I got to watch Vino Farms, Jim from Vino Farms, because he put out a video that I saw before I came outside. Also, I always tune in to the stream team on Wednesdays at 8 o'clock p.m. East Coast time. and I listen to them because it's always good information, those guys. One day I hope to meet everybody. Maybe coming up Hive Life 2024. Yeah, 2024 Hive Life. Maybe I'll be there. Anyway, that's it for now. I'm rambling. I always do. Thank you guys for watching. Thank everybody for watching, not just guys. Yeah, get in your bees as soon as you can, I guess. Anyway, that's it for now.